heading out on a shopping trip now that Mr. Venture has gotten home, and it is already depressingly dark out. Rose needs a new coat, Farmer Boy needs some new shoes, and my dear here needs... Did you bring your bunny with you? Oh, you got your bellfold and ready to go? You think they fix the little cracks before winter hits? And that's why there's this shiny fresh car on the road. There are... It is an animal pelt. It's a fur coat.
What is this animal? Are you doing a video?
Angora. She found this Angora coat that she really super likes. I like your new haircut. Looks nice. When you go shoe shopping, makes things more interesting, I suppose. Just now on the floor. So
look at these!
Look at the little unicorn shoes. Oh, yes. You guys have shoes just like that. What shoes? Do we even know a little girl that big? We buy them for Aurora. Oh my goodness. Oh, you want to show me? Oh. Those are fun. They're like little monster claws. Look at those. Oh, look, there's little camel monster claws. They're so funny. Oh, that is fun. We need to
comparison.
Oh my word. 13, 14. Those would fit on my face. Oh man, I would trip and break my face if I wore these though.
Oh, look!
Casey's General Store! The lights are everywhere. That's the go-off. There's a tree. Are you actually asleep or are you just pretending you're asleep? We're home. Well, how about you go inside, get your jammies on? Yep. And now we're home. This is shaping up to be a pretty busy week, and I'm feeling a little bit woozy today. One of the things that I've talked about here before is that I have multiple sclerosis and I have sensitivity to extreme temperature shifts. And looking at the forecast, it looks like there's going to be kind of a roller coaster ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of take it easy today and try to get some rest and kind of shore myself up for the week.
For dinner today, I'm going to be making, it's basically a garlic bread sandwich where you make cheesy garlic bread and then you put meat and cheese inside. And then you eat it.
Yeah, we went on a marriage retreat a couple years ago? Last year? And we went to this famous barbecue place and we tried this sandwich and it was epic. So of course, Mr. Adventure decided that he needed to figure out an at-home version because, like any foodie, once you find something you like somewhere else, you have to learn how to make it at home. And usually it ends up better than the stuff at the restaurant, most oftentimes here. It's gonna be good.
All you do is make yourself some cheesy garlic bread. And then some barbecue. This is pork.
Now this pork is a specially prepared pork that started out as an apple cider pork roast. So this is going to be extra good, I think.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Wait, is there only two?
They're really big, buddy.
Are there only two?
Is this everybody's dad? Hey, cool.
Ooh.
Move that around and then pop off. We should like buy.
About $10.
We should buy all five.
Oh, that's even cooler without the water on it.
Right? Ice flake.
That's cool. Hang on.
Stop. Mom's looking at
Ooh, so cool. Oh, I should do like slow-mo. That is so fun.
They're like, we don't want that. We want pet.
Aw, little Mochi. He's a handsome fella. Yeah.
He's definitely the biggest one. Is this one who had his tail cut?
Yeah, this is the one you rescued. I'm getting ready to go on an adventure with my mom and my grandpa. We're heading over to a doctor's appointment in one of the nearby towns, and so I'm all ready to go. In hindsight, I probably should have some coffee. They're almost here. Do I have time or do I not? Chicken?
Well, it used to be, you know, when you really did plow it, it was more mellow and
It was easier to plant in the spring.
but they don't really do much plowing anymore. You know, they tear it up. But
Yeah. Really changes the landscape once they harvest. Another field they haven't got to. I noticed that it's kind of flattening down with the snow and the wind both.
And the degree to which the president
We checked the weather like 12 times this morning. Ugh. Early this morning when I was looking over westward and I said, it looks like there's a storm on the horizon. We checked the weather over and over. No, there's no snow. It might be a little partly cloudy. But no, there's not going to be any snow today. You can see how it's blowing across the road. Look at that. Whew. Oh my goodness. But it's a lot of snow for a day that there isn't supposed to be snow. And I'm going 40 miles an hour because it's slippery.
Looks like we're going into warp drive.
I am not at all keen on the weather today. Aside from the fact that I was sore all night long, just achy in my joints, and I had a terrible night's sleep, and I could just feel that the weather was taking a dip. I woke up this morning to a temperature of 8 degrees in November. This is kind of brutal. We're trying to get things done here at the farm in preparation for winter, but it feels like we're already in the depths of winter. There's snow on the ground and it's 8 degrees outside. So we're kind of making a mad scramble. Now, the bright side of it is there's one day this week that is supposed to be fairly nice. I mean, the forecast is looking pretty chilly for the most part, in the 30s and 20s. But there's a day, Saturday, that it's supposed to be 57 degrees. And so all of the things need to happen on Saturday. So we're gonna have to hustle on Saturday. There's a tree that hangs over the power lines, and so that one has to go. And while the power line is down, we wanted to get the other trees down. Worst case scenario, we could try to get all the trees down that need to be and get them moved out of the way, and then we can process the firewood as we go. That's probably going to have to be what happens, so that we can get that line reattached, because otherwise we need to have the waterers, the heated waterers plugged in, because 8 degrees, there's no way our water is going to stay unfrozen at 8 degrees. You know, up until now, the forecast looked like it was going to be above freezing every day. It was going to be, you know, chilly, but not like this. We had snow yesterday that we weren't expecting, and now it's dipping down to 8 degrees, so we feel kind of caught off guard.
Right now, it's 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 32 degrees.
How did it go down 3 degrees since the last time I checked? Okay. I'm trying to be positive. I have a new shawl to wear, so that'll be comfy, and my coffee's gonna seem extra nice today because it's so warm, and I get to hang out with my grandpa, so that's definitely a plus. Might have to go out into the cold to do it. There's just not much that's exciting about 5 degrees. But it should hopefully get warmer between now and when I have to actually leave the house. So in order to conserve energy and to keep myself from getting too creaky, I think I'm going to hibernate until about 10 o'clock. I'm just going to hunker down and pile myself with blankets and stay warm, because if I get too cold, then my joints are all achy for the rest of the day, and I don't want that to be the case. So I'm going to try to stay warm, I guess, in the meantime. Ugh. The cold is just extra mean to me. I tend to get a lot of pain issues when the cold starts setting in, and that's pretty typical of anyone, whether or not they have MS. Going from 40 degrees yesterday to 5 this morning is a pretty significant temperature dip. I just got done taking Grandpa to his allergy appointment, and I noticed how pretty it is here at sunset. And toss that side over. Getting ready to take stuff on a dump run. Windy today, but it's pretty secure. Mr. Adventure and I have a trailer back there full of stuff that we're taking to the dump. We have a garbage service that only comes once a month, and so that's not always adequate for our waste needs, and so sometimes we have to take things over. And there's a lot of bigger items when you live on a farmstead that have to be taken. We do try to reuse and repurpose things when we can. Sometimes, like if there's an empty tire, we can use that as a chicken bath or whatnot, you know, so we do try to repurpose items, but sometimes there's a surplus or we just need more space. What we're doing today, trip to the landfill.
Two small car and then one small lawnmower.
Look at all the birds. Crazy. Our house before the homestead. We have dropped off the stuff at the dump. Now, there wasn't really a whole lot of stuff, but it was stuff that we had been moving around. We didn't have any use for it, and it was just causing clutter in our yard. And it was like old planting containers and things that were cracked, but we kind of eked them along as long as we could and decided to finally let them retire. After we did that, we went over to my mother-in-law's place, and it's always nice to see her. But also, we went ahead and picked up a load of stuff that was in the garage there. When we moved to the homestead, we did a house swap with my mother-in-law, and we moved to the homestead to take over stewardship there, and then she moved to our old house here in our old town. As we did this house swap kind of van load by van load. Mr. Adventure would come home at the end of a day. I would have spent most of the day packing up my mother-in-law's things, and we put them in the back of the van. The next morning, my husband would drive it over with him to work because he commutes to the town that's nearby where we used to live. After a full day of work, then he would drop off a load of stuff at his mother's house, and he would come home and we would load up another van load of stuff in the van. We did do a sort of initial haul of the big furniture and things like that when we moved there, but there's been a lot of nickel and diming when it comes to this move. One of the big complications with the way that we did the house swap was that we were not moving into an empty house. There's things that get mingled together. It's really complicated. Now that I've gone through a house swap, I would have a lot better insight in how to do it, but I wouldn't recommend it as anything easy. It's been long and complicated. Well, we picked up a whole trailer load of things from our previous house. When we went through the garage stuff, there's a lot of stuff that we went and bought replacements for because we didn't know where it was. It got lost in the shuffle. There were things that we had long forgotten about. There were a bunch of things that we found that we went ahead and donated because we hadn't had need of it for the past 5 years, and it would just be taking up space in our storage areas at our new place. And anybody who's lived on a farmstead knows that there is kind of a limited amount of stuff that you can really deal with when you're on a homestead and keep it tidy and keep it efficient and functional. We're gonna grab something on the way home to eat. It's been a really long day, but we have gotten a lot of stuff done. Right, videoing the awesome sunset. Wow. Sunset is something else, let me tell you. The colors are so vivid, it's like impossible.
And early.
Early? Oh yeah.
9:41.
Yes, our sunsets are much earlier than they were last week. But boy, they're sure apologizing for it. I'm slow going this particular season. That's what that little orange triangle means. For those of you who aren't in Midwest states where there's a lot of agriculture, those little orange triangles are not something you want to get stuck behind. Here's a video of Mr. Adventure making supper for tonight. I thought it was cool when she showed up on a horse. Oh my goodness. Yeah. See? It's like a game of pickup sticks because there's all these other trees that are secluded by it. So if you take one out, all the other ones are gonna come. Oh my goodness. Spudgerb. I think I saw him running off. Wow, it's gonna feel a lot brighter over here. Wow, there was not much to the inside of that tree. Like a pudding. Yeah, you don't need a gym membership when you're on a farm. Oh! Bravo! Cinder! Nice aim! Way to hustle. Good game. Well, you keep... She's inspecting. It's like an old Johnny Popper. Okay, let's head to the store. I am so excited about this because every time I drive by, I try to get a video and it's always too dark, or as like this time, my phone died right when I was getting ready to video them. But I happen to have a phone charger in my vehicle. So this is the old greenhouse where I used to work. And look at, there's a whole herd of deer there.
All girls.
Yep. Oh.
There's a fawn, is there?
Yeah, there's a little one. And I'm actually getting to film it. Look at how many there are.
Oh, never mind, there's 5.
There they go.
Oh, look, the little one.
This is so fun.
It's so cute how they run.
I actually get a video of them. Now these deer are always down here when we're driving through, and so I'm always watching for them.
They're going down in that little
And
place.
I go pretty slowly when I'm driving around here. It's fun to see them. These are probably the same deer that went and visited my neighbor when she still lived in this neighborhood. Oh, look at the little frolic. Oh, they're playing. That's so fun. Alrighty. Oh. Better head off home.
Oh, I see one. There's one. That's 2.
The return of Kinky Tail. He's very skittish, but he shows up every once in a while. He usually gets along pretty okay with the other cats. He doesn't cause any trouble, but gets a little sassy at him if they try to eat when he's eating. I do believe that it is snowing, and snowing a lot. Hey, this is Daisy Joy at Adventure Acres. It's the middle of the night and I'm awake. I can't get back to sleep. I made myself some herbal tea, hoping that might help a little. I'm having a lot of achy pains, and I've got my new shawl all cuddled up around me. I find I do a lot of good troubleshooting in the middle of the night when I can't sleep. One of the things I've been thinking about is things I'd want to do videos for. I'd like to do a new introduction video. I'd like to do some more recipe videos. Those seem like fun. As far as make it minute projects, it's gonna have to be more inside stuff because quite cold out. I have some fun projects planned during these winter months, so I'm looking forward to making more videos and hopefully getting some sleep soon. In the meantime, may your adventures be fun and your efforts be blessed. This is Daisy, signing off for now.
Oh, look, a dandelion. It must be the last of the season.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Alright, this is like Adventure Acres' version of Cinderella. He keeps calling me on the phone. Alright, take 2.